Craig?
Thanks, Andy. Hi, Deon. Congratulations on last night. I'm sure you didn't have much sleep like most of us, and deservedly so. I suppose let's just throw it forward. You probably don't play for another 8-9 months. The Springboks don't play again for another long period. But were there any discussions about what happens in future? What are we going to do? What's next? Are you starting to set goals already? Because I know everything was focused till October the 28th, 2023. But now it's October the 29th. Are plans starting already for the future?
Good morning, Craig. Good afternoon. Thank you. At this point in time, Craig, we haven't spoke a lot about the future going forward. I think, as you know, Russ and SA Rugby, they would have made plans looking ahead going forward. I think at this point in time, we're just enjoying the moment, the celebrations, and just be in the moment. And I think when we get back, I assume there will be meetings and chats about what is going to happen going forward. But at this moment, it's just all about enjoying this moment.
Thanks.
Thanks, Craig. Deon's doing a sterling job as Felix Jones just runs out in a Springbok jacket. I don't know if you can see that. Trying to distract our coach.
Oh, Felix.
Morgan.
Thanks, Andy. Hi, Deon. Congrats with the win last night. Absolutely amazing. From a coaching perspective and management, what was the most pleasing aspect about winning this World Cup and what you've seen in the group?
Yes, Morgan. I think we've been together for such a long time, preparing for this World Cup this year, but also starting way back after the previous World Cup. Everything that we've planned and that we worked towards was to last night. And behind the scenes, you see a lot of hard work that the players have put in. You see a lot of growth of players and a lot of growth of the team, working at different aspects of the game, whether it's individual improvement or whether it's a strategic or technical improvement. Also, off-field staff putting in a lot of work. And then obviously, there's also our families and supporters that have stood with us throughout these years, and also through this year, which was a very challenging year in working towards this. So to see the smiles on the faces and the happiness and just that relief of us, yes, we've done it, we've achieved our goal, makes it so special. Special for the players being rewarded for their hard work, everyone being rewarded for their hard work, everyone that have committed themselves and have put so many things aside for a common goal. To see us reaching that was quite satisfying.
Kanisa?
Oh, thank you very much, Andy. Good afternoon, Deon. Congratulations on the success. What does this mean? What does this particular World Cup success mean? Not just for you, the team, the country. I mean, Sia did make a point along with Jacques yesterday that the idea was always to win 2023, but the 2019 success came along, and in encompassing the challenges faced in South Africa, what kind of message does this kind of success bring?
Yeah, I think, at least if you look back at it, I think because rugby is a team sport, obviously the biggest message for us that we've of the biggest messages for us that we've received in terms of the build-up towards this game over the past years or months is that it's the big message of alignment and striving towards a common goal, and everyone buying in to achieve that common goal. And if you do that, you have to put aside your common differences, but understanding that yeah, you come from different cultures, different background, people are different, but it's about minding each other without trying to change who you are and what you do, but understanding that if you want to achieve something significant, then you have to understand that everyone is needed in achieving that, and it's not about you, but it's about accepting who you are and accepting who someone else is, and buying in to achieve that specific goal on that way. And I think that is something that I think you can apply in every circumstances outside rugby. If you're united, if you align to a common task, and you are willing to put your own common or your own goals aside for the good of what is at stake, you can achieve anything. So it was not only about lessons in rugby, but it was also about life lessons, and I think we can continue this and apply this recipe in our society going forward.
Valen?
Thank you very much, Andy. Congratulations, Deon. Setting the record of winning a fourth world title. People will obviously now start trying to African way, the Springbok way, the way to be able to win back-to-back, to be able to win 4 world titles, to be able to win half of the World Cups that you guys have been able to compete in. What does this say about South African rugby, this victory?
I think South Africa at this stage is in a very good place with his rugby. Obviously, the result is showing that, but also we know that South Africans are passionate about the game. There's a lot of excellent talent in South Africa, and I think going forward, there's a bright future for our game if we continue on this path of aligning what we want to achieve and how we're going to achieve it. As I've said before, obviously in our campaign, being part of this, there's a lot of lessons learned in terms of what is needed to play at this level and to handle pressure at this level. It's always not only about talent, but it's also about applying their talent at a higher level under pressure like this. And I think the character of the players in this team, the hard work that the management on and off the field have done. I think if we can continue doing that as a South African rugby loving family, to build our game, to empower coaches, players to become better, and to learn from these lessons that we've learned at this level. I think we can really looking forward to the quality of the teams that we can deliver at junior and at senior level to play for the country.
Craig?
Thanks again. Deon, maybe we can just talk about, I know it's a team game, but BITDEFENDER du Toit's performance last night. I mean, I've read from all around the world, and most people are describing it as maybe the greatest single performance in World Cup history, and possibly one of the greatest performances ever. What was your take on it, and just where does he find that extra?
Yeah, BITDEFENDER du Toit's performance was absolutely fantastic. He's a fantastic player. Don't say much, but when he speaks, he talks sense, and everyone listens. You could really see in past couple of games that Pieter-Steph was getting back to his best. There was a lot of passion in the way he approached training sessions. He approached the games. I think he was outstanding in terms of his on-field contributions, but also in terms of his off-field contributions, making plans, inspiring his teammates. And then obviously he's just a natural athlete. I mean, if you look at him, I can't always put my finger on in saying that he gets tired. And when Pieter-Steph gets tired in a game, you must get worried, because then there's something wrong. And I think really his contributions, as I said, with the ball and without the ball, was just outstanding last night. And for a player to do that at this level and continue doing this in World Cups, it just speaks volume of his ability.
Yeah, thanks.
Morgan?
Thanks, Andy. Deon, this is the first cycle of, between World Cups that South African teams have been participating in the Northern Hemisphere. Do you think that this aided you guys quite a bit in this World Cup, being able to play in these conditions, 2 games in a row where you had to face wet weather conditions and just learn to grind to a win?
And then I think if you look back at 2019, the way South Africa have played in the previous World Cup, a lot of those things were similar in terms of what knockout rugby is about. And I think the application of that wasn't new to a lot of these players which form a core part of this team. But I will say that playing in those conditions in a competition added to those skills. It keeps you sharp in terms of acquiring those skills that is needed to play a territorial game, or to have a good offense, or to handle your set pieces under different and difficult circumstances. And doing that on a continuous basis against not against world-class players on different surfaces and under different conditions, of playing against different coaches from different countries. All of those things contribute in improving the skills and the mindset and the strategic application of the players and the teams in situations like that. So yes, I would think it contributed to that. But as I said, I think a continuity and understanding what is needed in these playoff games also played a very good part, or in doing that.
Welcome, Luton.
Thank you, Andy. Hello, Deon. Baie geluk. Deon, just on the values, the culture that's been instilled in the team since 2018, right through 2019, through to 23 now. Does it become easier carrying those values over to new players, or players that will join the system now? Those that missed out already know what it is like, but also new coaches that might be stepping into the setup. Does it become easier because you are successful, or is it a bit more difficult to carry those values over?
I think Coach Russ and Jacques, in terms of how they've approached it with the alignment camps before we start any competition, I think that's the difference for me. It sets the tone in terms of what Springbok rugby is about, how they want to do things, how they look at doing things, what is needed from the players on field and off field to align them before they get into camp. And obviously the players that have been here, they get the same message that the new players get. So that, I think, they understand that now, they adhere to that, and the players coming in learn that along the way quicker. Everyone gets treated the same. Everyone understand that everyone gets rated in terms of their roadmaps and stuff on the same things. Everyone expect or understand what coaches expect of them. Yeah, and the main thing that we drive is the whole concept of being a warrior, and being a warrior is not only being physical on field, but also being a warrior off field. And this is that means that you don't have any egos. You align yourself to how you can influence to make this team better, whether it's with your own contributions or assisting someone else. And I think those are important things to understand, that in order to make this team work, it's not only about yourself, but it's about the whole team. And I mean, if I just look at this team now, I mean, we've sit with so much good players. And when it comes to a 7-1 split or a 6-2 split or a 5-3 split, it's difficult to leave out players. But because players understand that there's a specific plan, and players understand that there's a bigger plan to achieve a common goal, it's fantastic to see how players, yes, they might be disappointed, but how quickly they move on and then assist the guys that are in the team to achieve that goal. And when you look at that, obviously you get a good understanding that you have the right people in the room to achieve a common goal. And I think that is important, to have the right people with regards to the players and the management in the team to achieve that goal. Because if you don't have that, it can easily go sideways. And I think that is what the alignment camps in an early stage assist with, in order to achieve that, so that we can achieve what we've achieved now.
Excuse me, can you, sir?
Thank you very much, Andy. Deon, when you look back at the fact that the Boks played no rugby in 2020 because of COVID-19 reasons, whereas everyone else did get an opportunity to actually play, how does it make this World Cup success far more meaningful? Because effectively, where everyone had a head start in terms of rugby playing for the Boks didn't, and they had to play catch up. I mean, also affected how the team make up. I mean, when you look back at Wales second test, I mean, a multitude of changes were made in that game, changes that actually had a big impact in the makeup of the 33 that actually came to the World Cup.
Yeah, I think it was obviously not good for us to play in 2020, but there was good reasons for us not taking part or playing rugby in that year. But obviously, as Coach Rasif also said, they've always planned to win the World Cup in 2023, and 2019 was a bonus. And I think in saying that, there was a clear understanding that who was the core group, but what is needed in order to build depth in the squad, and to build experience from those test matches leading up into this World Cup. And yes, and we've always had those discussions by looking in terms of where we are, how far we are from the World Cup, how many tests we have in a year, what does the group look like, where do we have to build experience in order to get more depth in positions. And I think that planning, that thorough planning and trust to play players in positions in tests where we could have maybe be more conservative, but doing things with a bigger plan in mind, that assisted us to be in a position here in this World Cup where we could have such a experienced squad, but also good youngsters that could step in whenever there was an injury, or someone could not have played. If you look at in the different positions at hooker, at prop, we had a late withdrawal with Vincent, and Trevor could just step in. All of those kind of examples, and then there was a couple of that where players were out and came back into the squad, like Andre and Mani, Lucania, all of those guys coming back into the squad. So yeah, so I think that thorough planning, building up towards this World Cup, assisted a lot in giving us that confidence and depth that we have the right players to achieve this goal.
Thanks, Kaniso. Thanks, Deon. Thank you very much, everybody. And that concludes our press conference.